Greetings, and welcome to day 7 of the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge 2019 by Anthony Dawn. The prompt that we were given for today was the most worked with tarot deck in 2018 and why. Well, you probably know, you probably already know, but my most worked with deck for 2018 was the Wildwood Tarot. This was the year 2018. It was not the year I got this card deck. 2017 was the year I discovered it in my cupboard, how great of a deck it was. And I really fell into it in earnest in 2017. 2018 was the year I took ownership of the deck. I'm trying to decide why. It is that I fell in love with this deck. What it is about the images that speak so strongly to me. What separates it from other, it is Rider-Waite-Smith based, but what separates it for me that I couldn't get enough of the deck, and I have to tell you, I still can't get enough of the deck. I'm kind of neglecting it right now because I'm working my way in January through the Deviant Moon, which I'm really loving. And I neglected it at the end of the year because I was working, first of all, with the Santa Muerte deck. And also then they went back into the Cat's Eye because I really like doing the Cat's Eye at the holidays. But this Wildwood deck just has gripped me by the heart. It's gripped me by the heart and taken hold of my soul. I don't know how else to explain it. Every once in a while that happens, I guess. It perhaps has to do with my love of history and my quest to relate deeply with the ancestors. I think that's what led me to it in the first place. The images are the images are a time. And in a place that speaks to me very, very strongly. They're very pagan oriented, which I like because I'm being pagan. I really speak to that. Now, what is the difference between this and the hoi polloi? You know, my hoi polloi is my number one. The hoi polloi is my life. The hoi polloi I've had with me my whole life, and I still love it. I could not be without it. But this deck was the first one to really tempt me at all away from the hoi polloi. I was always saying, yeah, that's nice, but I like my hoi polloi. At every deck that I ever saw. This was the first one to tempt me away. What was it? I think it's because, number one, where the hoi polloi or the Rider-Waite, let's say, the Rider-Waite system is a wonderful system. It's a beautiful system. The imagery I find very fascinating. I do. I see something every time that I look at the Rider-Waite. I do see something pretty much every time, a little bit new, and every time I pull a card, something a little bit new is there. So it's a lovely, the images are lovely to work with, read very well, but the Wildwood for me is alive, if you understand what I mean. It's alive. The images are alive. The images are alive and have been for centuries. We feel drawn into the portraits that are given to us on each card. We feel like, we're standing right beside the images that were being shown. Here we are at the hearth fire, and I can feel the fire on my face. Here we are with the King of Arrows and the Kingfisher. I can feel the coolness of the water, and I can hear, the insects and stuff chirping around, and I'm fascinated watching the Kingfisher going to dive in. We see majesty in the animal world. We see a real connection in this deck. It is not just we're being shown pictures of animals. We have a connection to them. We have history with them. We share history. We share a destiny with the animals that we see. We look at something like the Ace of Stones and we feel the time that has been, that is still. The time that is still. This is represents, we see these ancient carvings. If you've ever been anywhere, like, well, you people that live in Great Britain are just, you've got it made, because you just have so much history in your everyday life. You have things that, we tend to, the United States is a young country comparably, and we have a tendency, anything's old, we want to get rid of and build something new. And the history is so still alive in Great Britain. That's what I feel with this card. I also feel depth. I feel a depth that I don't always feel with the Rider-Waite. Like, I've compared this card before, the Three of Arrows. We always see as loss. We see as heartbreak of some kind. We see as, there's been some kind of misunderstanding or whatever. Here, and it's the Three of Arrows. Yeah, there's been harm done. There's been some kind of a loss. But I always love the image of this because there's burning, but the wood is not being consumed, number one. And number two, the blood dripping down from the arrows is going to the ground below. It gives the feeling of it's going to be nurturing the ground, nurturing the roots below, and enabling the tree to continue to live on, and to thrive. This is a kind of celebration, very primal kind of celebration. It's not just a superficial celebration. A lot of times, in our modern day, we think of celebrations and the holidays, and a lot of people, oh, it's so much work to celebrate. We got all the decorations to put up, all the cooking to do, and all the relatives coming into town. Some of them I don't even want to know. We get this superficial feeling of this celebration. This gives you a very primal, from the very basis of our core celebration. Dancing with abandonment around a fire. Hearing the drums, feeling the warmth of the fire, feeling the ground under the feet. Here we see the moon on the water. The moon very big in the sky, but also look underneath. This as above, so below, right? It shows what's to be found in the waters, the waters of the memory, memory of the mind, the memory of the intuition, the memory of the know, the knowledge that we have deep within us, that we need to look to for answers as well as looking above. I just can't get enough of the deck. I've used it. I'm looking forward to using it more this year as well, because I find that I want to use it in, especially in combination with some of my other decks. I've not done that too much with this deck. A little bit. I did the world of my layout for the upcoming year for my bullet journal. I did use this with conjunction with the Cat's Eye Tarot and my Witch's Runes. I want to use this deck more with Witch's Runes this year. I love the way that read together. So that's really cool. But I haven't used it really with Lenormand yet, and I do like to use a Lenormand deck in conjunction with the Hoi all the time. That's one of my regular readings that I offer. So I'm going to really start to look into using this with that. And on my wish list is the Celtic Lenormand. I'm going to be telling you in a minute. And I think that would probably read really well. This, eventually, if I ever get it, it's a year of depth. So I'm not going to be buying a lot of stuff, but it's on my wish list for maybe my grandson to see for my birthday or Christmas next year. We'll see. Anyway, that was my most worked with tarot deck of 2018. So Thank you for watching. As always, I'm Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.